My name is Deja, and I hope you find serenity.
I hope you find serenity. I hope you find serenity.
Greetings. Peace, y'all. I'm feeling a lot of things, and in true Deja fashion, I'm like, let me share about how I'm feeling on the internet. And I do this because, sometimes it really does feel like I don't have anyone to talk to, even though I totally do. Like, I totally have friends, but sometimes it can be a bit hard to sit down with your friends face to face, and it can be pretty easy to just pull out my phone and it's like talking to myself, and then later I share it so you all are hearing me, but I feel less pressure and I feel more safe being vulnerable this way. And I'm sure I'll talk to my friends when I feel comfortable. I've really been in the space of not wanting to talk to or see anyone, really just yesterday. I didn't want to talk to or see anyone, so I stayed at home. I canceled my class that I was going to teach in the library. And I also, my moon cycle started yesterday, that's common for me for my first day. There's a need for deep rest and release. And I don't experience too much pain when I'm menstruating, but it's not so much that it's pain, but there is this level of discomfort where if I were to walk a lot or do a lot of physical action, then I would be in pain. But when I'm resting, it's just a small bit of okay, I need to move and be in this position, this and that. So I was just honoring my body and doing a lot of releasing, crying, breathing, singing a little, and just feeling all that I'm feeling. And I'm not going to share too many details because there is some sacredness in privacy. I still deserve privacy even though I share pretty openly. But basically, y'all, I'm going through something right now where I've caused harm to someone who I really love. And that person is taking time to process their feelings about it. And I've had this feeling before in my life, this feeling of I'm disappointing someone. And it really triggers me and reminds me of childhood too. I got in trouble a lot with my mom, especially. My dad, actually not so much, but with my mom, I used to get in trouble all the time. And I've always kind of held on since then to this kind of fear of being in trouble, this fear of somebody seeing me as bad or wrong, because, I deeply absorbed those feelings as a child. And there's been a pattern since then that comes up where when I feel insecure, I start to feel like I'm not worthy. And when I make mistakes, I start to feel like, oh my God, I'm the worst person on the planet and no one's ever gonna love me. Y'all, this is real. And I literally laugh while I cry because I don't know, it's just some kind of weird coping mechanism. I don't know, but literally that's the feeling that's been alive for me. And it's funny because I've just been making these videos about when challenges happen, that it's divine and we have to trust the process because it's working out for some higher purpose. And I do trust that, even though I'm feeling sad and I'm noticing the patterns, not even I'm feeling it, but I notice the patterns, the thought patterns or the stories that run in my mind of I'm not worthy, I'm always wrong, I'm never going to be good enough, I'm not going to be loved or whatever. All those stories that I've been telling myself since I was a child. And even in this, yeah, what am I saying? So there's a lot of feelings coming up. And please don't feel bad for me because literally I created this situation. I really did, make a mistake. And I've made other mistakes before in my life and I'll make mistakes again. And it's hard not being perfect. It's hard to accept yourself when you act in a way that you wish you could change, and you can't change the past. You can only be present in the moment. Yeah. I really didn't think I was going to cry, but this is not my first time crying on YouTube, so I don't even give... I was about to cuss, but I'm not going to cuss. And the reason I need to do I'm going to do a whole other video soon, but I actually have some new friends that just moved to this town who know me through YouTube. This woman and her daughter's only 10 years old, and I found out that she watches all my YouTube videos, and she was like quoting me and telling me about all this stuff she saw on my page, and I was like, it's really touching my heart. And I'm going to do a video with them for this channel, so look out for it maybe in a couple weeks. But after meeting this little girl, I was like, oh, I need to stop cussing on here, because I didn't know y'all had y'all kids watching me. But anyways, I'm going to do my best to just have, you know, some appropriate language for the young folks, and just keep on sharing from my heart. So yeah, there's a lot of pain being felt, pain that I've caused for myself. And even though I cause it for myself, you know, it still hurts, and I still have to work to heal. And I've been doing a lot of that, and it's been an interesting journey. I'm going between being deeply sad and being deeply grateful that this has even happened, just so that I can be broken open more, and I can see where I can improve. Because when everything's going well, you know, we don't really do much to improve. We're just like, everything's going fine, you know, we're just flowing. But then, you know, certain things come up to show us, no, there's more growth. There's more healing to do here. And it just shows itself. And all this happened. All these emotions came up, this experience with the person in my life, you know, having hurt them. This all happened right after I said this out loud, maybe 2 days ago. I was just like, whatever is not serving me, please remove it from my life. Literally, there's this woman I follow on TikTok. I can't remember her name right now. It's Goddess something, but she had made a little TikTok about it. She was like, you know, or she used a sound for it, but she had like a caption, but she's like, you know, saying like, please remove whatever's not serving me, and then knowing like you can't take that back. So when I saw that, I felt in my heart like, ooh, I need that. I need to speak that. And there was a little bit of fear, because I'm like, oh my God, what's going to be removed from my life? But anyways, then some things unfolded, and I'm just like, oh, some of the things that need to be removed were literally, oh, I don't even know how to explain it. Yeah, there was just some real things that needed to be removed from me. Things that weren't serving me within me. And they came to the surface so that they could be purged, released, removed. And it's a painful process, but I'm still grateful to be healing. You know, even as I'm so sad and I feel those negative stories coming up in my mind, I'm like, Deja, don't be tempted by the negative story, because you are a creator of your reality. So if I stay in the negative story, I know I'm going to create that. I'm going to create more of that. As long as I choose to learn from what I'm going through and be present, accountable, honest, then I can move through it with grace. Even though I just cried in y'all face, like deep inside, I know that I'm okay, because I'm comfortable going through this challenge, because I know it's serving a higher purpose. And I know I've created the situation. I know that I'm responsible. I'm responsible for what I'm feeling. No one else is responsible for what I'm feeling. And I'm also responsible for how I treat myself. And that's going to turn into how I treat others. So even in this, I'm learning, like, you know, I hurt myself first, and then I hurt another. So I really need to treat myself better, mentally, physically, emotionally. And I need to treat others even better. And it's a hard realization sometimes. Like, I have to humble myself, because I be feeling like I'm a good person. I'm doing my best here on earth. But then still, like, it doesn't matter how good you are. These, like, shit still comes up. Excuse my language. Things still come up. Like, there's still always going to be more healing to do. And I even saw this coming, because literally a few weeks ago, I was giving a private couples retreat, and I just had a day where I was feeling some emotions, and I was like, something is coming up for me. And I was sharing with them because I can't really hide it. They were very intuitive beings, and I was just like, I'm starting to feel like there's some sadness in me, and I don't know where it's coming from, but I feel it. And I also am like, sometimes like things were going really good for me at the time. I was like super happy, and I was just like, sometimes when I'm in this super happy space, like there's this little, I don't know how to describe it, like intuition, these little sparks, this little knowledge coming or whatever it is that comes to me. It's like, there's gonna, like, this is, life is like a wave, right? So I could feel that I was on a high wave at the peak, and I could feel like there was gonna be something I had to go down again soon. And I was like, I feel like I'm anticipating it. And I was on point because that was just like a few weeks ago. And now I'm seeing, and now I'm in this. Now I'm having to come low and deep into myself and do more healing work. I'm not perfect. I have my own trauma. And I dedicate my life to helping people who've dealt with trauma because I have trauma, because I know how important it is to have someone who you can trust, who you can feel safe with, who you can feel supported by when you're moving through things, when you're working through things. So that's why I like to be that for other people. And in this moment, I'm seeing how much I need it for myself. And also, times like this, I never book inner child sessions. Like I've been, really desiring to give some inner child sessions the last couple of months. And outside of my retreats, I haven't really booked. Actually, I do have one coming up next week, but I haven't booked many sessions. But this always happens when it's time for me to do the work. This always happens to me. I always go through those fluctuations, even with my services. I have times where I've got retreat after retreat after retreat, and then I might go 3 months without having one. And same with my sessions. I could have a whole bunch of clients in a month, and then the next month I have 0 clients. And it's just, there's time for me to turn back towards myself and be like, what work do I need to do so that I can be better in the world? So that I can be better to myself and better to the people who I love. I didn't leave the house at all yesterday, and today I'm going into the library to help, to volunteer to, check out books and all that stuff. And literally I was about to leave, and I was like, I'm not ready to leave yet. I actually need to sit down and reflect a little bit longer. And I'm glad, because I had some more tears. And I'm the type where if I really have to cry, it doesn't matter if I'm in public, maybe I'll go to a bathroom or something, but I can't stop myself from crying because I just let it flow. And I'm grateful for that, because it's my body trying to come back into balance. Not even trying, it's my body coming back to balance. It's releasing what needs to be released. So I'm grateful that I cry with ease and also without shame. But there is a time and a place, I don't want to be just bawling, crying in the library, because there's nobody there who I feel safe, being seen in that way. But in this moment, I feel safe, just being seen by my phone. And I feel safe enough to post this on my page. And that's an interesting kind of, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's interesting that I am comfortable sharing this online, but I might be afraid to cry in front of somebody in the library. That's something for me to unpack further. I think because there's a level of distance, because I don't see, whoever you are listening to me right now, I don't see you. Most of you, I don't know you. And by the time you watch this, more than likely I'll already have moved through these feelings and I'll be feeling better. So, or I'll be going through something else. But, so I think that level of distance makes me feel more safe being this vulnerable. And, anyways, that's what's happening with me. I'm literally about to go and post this right now, I think, actually, because I want to get it out and off my chest. And this vulnerability is important to me on this page because I get a lot of messages from women. And now I know also really young women are watching me, this 10-year-old girl that just moved here with her mom. I can't believe she's been watching all my YouTube videos. I had no idea that a child would even be interested in what I have going on. And it just feels very divine because, I do inner child work, and I've been always trying to connect with the inner child in adult women, but also the children who are children right now. They're very important. And I don't know where I was going with that. I lost my train. Okay, I remember now. So because people are watching me, and sometimes I can see based on the messages I receive that people, like some of y'all are putting me on a pedestal, like I'm special, or that I've, done something that is like, well, I mean, I can't say like I have done great things in this life, my retreats, starting my farm and all this. I'm very proud of those things. But I don't want to put out this illusion to the world that I don't go through things, or that I'm perfect, or that you need to be like me. You just need to be yourself. And of course, because there's so much oneness, a lot of what I'm going through, I know for a fact other people are going through it. And I know that I'm a mirror. So I just share myself as authentically and vulnerably as possible, so that you can see yourself in me, of course, and not idealize me as like this person who's never sad, or this person who has everything figured out. I don't have it all figured out, y'all. I wish. And actually, even as I say that, I'm remembering something I've learned, like in listening to different teachers and messages. And it's like, actually, my spirit does know, my spirit does have it all figured out. But me, Deja, I be getting in the way of spirit sometimes. And I have, all these memories in this physical body, all this programming, and even some trauma. And those things often are like that density that block me from flowing really fluidly with spirit. And as soon as I get back to spirit, I always feel better. And I always feel like, now I get it. Now I get it. Now everything is working out. Now I feel clear. Now I feel like I'm here on purpose. And I feel myself coming to that even now, just from talking this out, which I really needed to do, because I can't talk to the person. And I don't want to talk to my friends yet. So just sharing this here now is helping me to unpack deeper what's going on and how I can move through it. Like really getting back to spirit, because spirit is more detached. Like spirit is not attached to every little thing that happens. Spirit knows that it's all happening for a reason. And also spirit be letting us know in advance. And spirit tried to tell me, and I didn't listen. And that's why I go through these things, because when I don't listen, I always suffer. 100% of the time, y'all. And I'm 27 years old right now. I'm coming into my Saturn is in Pisces, and Saturn just returned to Pisces. So I'm beginning my first Saturn return. I'll be more in it next year, as I've learned through astrology. Like, I think 2024 is when it truly like is happening for me. But I can feel myself in that period, like going through a lot of karmic lessons, like, and it's like, what you gonna do? Are you gonna go back to old patterns? Or are you going to transcend? Are you going to really grow from this? And I've shared before online, like when I was a young person, I battled with depression and self-harm. Up until being 21 years old, I was 21 the last time I physically harmed myself on purpose. So I'm 27 now. It's been 6 years. I'm so thankful. I'm really proud of that, because the first time I self-harmed, I think I was 12 years old. So it was a lot of my life going through that. And I used to be like, if I went through something like this, like crying and feeling I've done something wrong, that was like what my go-to was. Like I would hurt myself more because that's what I thought I deserved. And I don't do that anymore. Now when I'm going through stuff, I heal myself more. Like I'm doing yoga more, I'm meditating more, I'm doing breath work more, I'm doing what I can to feel better rather than just wallowing in the sadness and hurting myself more and more and more. And I'm very happy that I can be on that side of things. And I didn't know I had to even feel this, but I do. I have to feel this. And the first time I cried in front of y'all in this video, it was sadness, but this time it's actually joy because I'm remembering, I have come a long way, even though I'm not perfect and even though there's still more to go and there's still more growth that needs to happen. Like, I'm very grateful for where I'm at and that I'm not hurting myself more because I don't deserve that, So, okay. All right, y'all. I didn't know that all that needed to come out, but there it is on the table. And there's nothing more to share about that. I really give thanks. If you're even sitting here listening and literally watching me cry, like literally, I send you my love from the depths of my heart, and I hope that you're being kind to yourself no matter what you go through, that you're forgiving yourself, that you're forgiving others, that you can practice some healthy detachment, not being so attached to everything that happens or that so attached to things going your way, because they won't always, but on a higher level, they are always going your way, and everything's going to be okay, That's what I have to keep telling myself, literally, just to get through an hour. I have to be like, everything's going to be okay. I have to keep telling myself that, or else I start to go into the, these other toxic patterns of self-destruction. And I don't want y'all to do that. We can all be better. And I'm sure you're also curious, like, where are you? I'm actually house sitting. There's a whole update that needs to take place. I'm house sitting just for 2 weeks. I've been here for like 4 or 5 days, and it's a lovely space. I'm very grateful to be here, to have warm water shower, to have the Wi-Fi actually is not very good. Like, I literally have to still go to the library to do most Wi-Fi stuff, but I'm close to the library, so I give thanks. And also I can charge things, and it's been a wonderful break from the off-grid living. No bugs in the house. I've been like, oh my God, y'all don't got huge spiders and critters and everywhere like I do. So I'm also on a higher level very grateful that I'm going through all of these things here in a space that's a bit more physically comfortable, because it's kind of like, a nurturing space that is holding me while I'm going through what I'm going through. So give thanks. Thank you for listening. Peace. Oh, and it's not just house sitting. I'm also looking after some kitties. There are 3, but here are 2 of them. And I must say, being around cats is very therapeutic, so I'm super grateful. The one up there has been really holding a lot of space for me. Like, after I cry, I'm like laying in the bed, and he like comes and like, starts, making biscuits on me and like literally on my heart space and like laying on my heart. And animals are true healers. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you.